Okay. I'm just trying to get.
Moment of creation till our last day on this earth comes the search for things eternal, moving forward from our birth. If truth be told, we all have fear, the communal bond we share. The rich, the poor, the weak or strong have this cross that we must bear. 'Tis not the fear of life, of love, or the trials that we shall meet. It is the over-pressing threat of the fate we all must greet. To think on death as a quick release, perhaps, would appeal to some. What grips my heart and soul will be the mystery yet to come. On the dark side of tomorrow, when the reaper takes his prey, I hope to say, "Oh, death, be quick," and I'll be on my way.
Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. It was an awesome story. I've been reading for like 15 minutes. Can anybody? You should be able to hear me now. I've been muted. I've been sitting here telling y'all an awesome story, and it just, I've been muted like an idiot. It was a good story. I guess I'll go back and tell it again. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, today we're going to be talking about MAURA MURRAY. Through the paperwork that I've took notes on and stuff, they call her Murray. I'm calling her MAURA, so you'll hear me kind of mess up every now and then. But the story is that this 21-year-old had went missing, and she went missing on February 9th of 2004 after a car crash, and within 6 minutes she disappeared and nobody's seen her. 3 people had seen her prior to this, and I will go back and we'll look at the video that y'all been staring at for 15 minutes. I apologize. I was just testing y'all, see what was going on. But we will go back and hey, it's me. We'll go back and look at that too. But I'm like, why my hair sticks to my head so much? But I had it muted. Oh my God, I can't believe it. But there is, everything seems kind of legit on the timeline until she has the car crash. I do want to say that she seems to drink a lot. I mean, she's a college student. She went to West Point. She dropped out of West Point to go to nursing school. Her older sister went to West Point and continued on with that. And if I'm not mistaken, her sister works for the CIA. Her dad is Fred Murray. Her mom is MAURA Murray. And so kind of give you the basics of, what's going on and stuff. But I do have some websites down in the description box because that's some of the things that I use. I use MindShock. Theirs was mostly theories. I've watched over 100 hours of this. It's been critical, and I still am sitting in the same place that I was before, having no idea. Then I watched Missing. I couldn't find the website. I don't know why. If anybody can find that, drop that in the chat, please. I appreciate it. And then I done analyzation of the Oxygen Channel, what they did on it, because everybody says that it was just this, like most TV shows. Hey, Chris. Hey, Shadow Woman. Black Widow Channel, and I Love Ultra too. But I done an analyzation on that, and I'm reading their theories. I'm going to give you my theory. I'm going to tell you what I really think happened to this woman. And on Unsolved No More, this guy is very credited. So I went on there and I wrote down the facts that he had. And that's what is my biggest biggest list of what I think actually happened. So we're going to go ahead and now I'm not going to be able to check out chat for a minute. So give me just a minute while I read this, and then I'll be back to chat. Okay, MAURA Murray, born on May 4th, 1982, is an American woman who disappeared on the evening of February 9th, 2004, after a car crash on Route 112 near Woodsville, New Hampshire, a village um, in the town of Haverhill. Her whereabouts remain unknown until this day. It's been 20 years, 19 years, 19 years. She was a 21-year-old nursing student who completed her junior year at the University of Massachusetts Amherst at the time of her disappearance. Her early life, like I said, she was born on May 4th in Hanson, Massachusetts. She's the fourth child of Frederick and Laura Murray. He goes by Fred. Um, she is. It reminds me of Fred is Dead or something. That old video you watched when you grew up. My best friend's Fred or something. But she has an older brother that's also named Fred, and two other sisters named Kathleen and Julie. Julie is the one that went to West Point. Kathleen kind of went a different way. She did well for herself, but there is something to do with her boyfriend, and we'll get to it. I kind of want to give little bits of information as I read this because there's so much info. There's like 10,000 more rabbit holes that I got to go through to even begin to not know what I'm doing still. But a younger brother named Kurt. Maura was raised as Irish Catholic household, very strict. She was 6 when her parents divorced. After that, Maura lived with her mother primarily. Maura graduated from Whitman Hanson Regional High School when she was a star athlete on the school's track team. She would run, and remember, if she's in Vermont, if she's in New Hampshire, wherever, she's running. She had a routine of running in the cold. Very important. Remember that. She could run in the cold for a long distance. If I'm not mistaken, she had 5-minute miles. That is like unbelievable. Unbelievable. She was accepted in the United States Military Academy in West Point, New York, where she studied chemical engineering for 3 semesters. After her freshman year, she transferred to the University of Massachusetts Amherst to study nursing. Okay, prior to her disappearance in November 2003, 3 months before her disappearance, Maura admitted to using a stolen credit card to order food from several restaurants, including one in Hadley, Massachusetts. The charge was continued in December and dismissed after 3 months of good behavior. On the evening of February 5th, 2004, when she was on duty at her campus security job, Maura spoke with her older sister Kathleen on the phone. Then they discussed Kathleen's relationship problems with her fiance around 10:30 because they had a lady that would come around and do checks and stuff and make sure they were doing their job. Because she would check IDs when people came in. But around 10:30 p.m., while still on her shift, Maura reportedly broke down in tears. When the supervisor arrived at the desk, Maura was just completely zoned out, no reaction at all. She was unresponsive. The supervisor escorted Maura back to her dorm room around 1:20. When she asked her what was wrong, Maura said 2 words, "My sister." The contents of the call remained unknown until October of 2017, when Kathleen publicly explained the conversation. Kathleen, a recovering alcoholic, had just been discharged from a rehabilitation clinic that evening, and on the way home, her fiance took her by a liquor store, in which this caused her emotional breakdown. On Saturday, February 7th, 2 days before she disappeared, Maura's father, Fred, arrived at Amherst. He told the investigators he and Maura went car shopping that afternoon, and later on they went to dinner with one of Maura's friends. Maura dropped her father off at the hotel room and, borrowing his Toyota Corolla, returned to campus to attend a dorm party. She arrived at 10:30. At 2:30 on Sunday, February 8th, she left the party. At 3:30, en route to her father's hotel, she struck a guardrail on Route 9. It looks like that she just went straight versus it was like one of those where it was like this and you had to turn left or right and she didn't turn. But and it still doesn't account for the damage that was on the car. You'll see. Um, she left the party at 3:30 en route, hit the guardrail um, on Route 9 in Hadley. That's where she was ordering the food from, causing nearly $10,000 in damage, which would be about $15,500 last year, to the car. The responding officers wrote the accident report, but they documented documentation of field sobriety test being conducted. Maura drove to her father's hotel, and she stayed in his room until the morning. At 4:49 a.m., there was a cell phone call placed to her boyfriend from Fred's phone. The participants and contents of that call are unknown. Later Sunday morning, Fred Murray learned the damage to his vehicle would be covered by the auto insurance. He rented a car and dropped off Maura at the university and departed for Connecticut. At 11:30 at night, Fred called his daughter to remind her to get the forms for the accident from the Registry of Motor Vehicles. They agreed to talk again on Monday and fill out the paperwork via phone. Preparations for departure. After midnight on Monday, February 9th, Maura used her personal computer to search MapQuest for directions to Brookshire and Burlington, Vermont. The first reported contact Maura had with anyone on February 9th was at 1 o'clock when she emailed her boyfriend, "I love you more, stud. I got your messages, but honestly, I don't feel too much like talking to anyone. I promise I will call today, though. Love you, Maura." She also made a phone call inquiring on a condominium at the Bartlett, New Hampshire Condo Association with which her family had vacationed in the past. Telephone records indicate the call lasted 3 minutes. The owner did not rent the condo to Maura, and at 1:13, Maura called the following nursing student for reasons unknown. Okay, the reasons are not unknown. She had borrowed some clothes from her and she wanted to return them. And the girl said, "Don't worry about it. You can return them when you get back." She also emailed homework in. That seems to me like someone that's going to be back because they, why would you do homework if you're just leaving? But the girl said she fell asleep and she heard a knock on the door and she went back to sleep. And whenever she went to open the door later on, the bag of clothes was sitting there. So that's what I'm assuming that was about. On the afternoon of Monday, February 9th at 1:24, Maura emailed her work supervisor of the nursing school facility and said that she would be out of town for a week due to a death in the family. According to the family, they have not experienced a death. She also said that she would contact them when she returned. At 2:05, Maura called a number which provides recorded information about booking hotels in Stowe, Vermont. The call lasted approximately 5 minutes, and at 2:18, she telephoned her boyfriend and left a voice message promising to talk to him later. The call ended after 1 minute. She packed up her clothes, some of her clothes in her car, her toiletries, college books, and birth control pills. Seems odd. When her room was searched later by campus police, they discovered belongings packed up in boxes, and the art had been removed from the wall. It had not been removed from the wall. It is not clear whether Maura packed them that day But the police said that she had packed them between Sunday night and Monday morning. On top of the boxes, there was a printed email to Maura's boyfriend indicating trouble with the relationship. And around 3:30, she drove off campus in her black 1996 Saturn sedan. Classes at the university had been canceled that day due to a snowstorm. Okay, in all the pictures that has ever been released, there is none of the bed. There's pictures of every bit of her room. There's still clothes in there. There's stuff packed up. They said that all the boxes were neatly packed on top of the bed, but there's no pictures of the bed. It's the little things. Like why? Why is there not a picture of the bed? That's stupid. At 3:40 p.m., Maura withdrew $280 from ATM. Closed circuit footage showed that she was alone. She was not alone. There was a man also in there. It's one of those little things that you walk into. Whether the man was with her or not, I don't know. But they've cropped it down to where you only see Maura. Also, she stopped at the liquor store afterwards and bought $40 worth of alcoholic beverages, including Bailey's Irish Cream, Kahlua vodka, and a box of Franzi wine. Sorry, I know the wine, but I don't drink it. Security footage also shows that she was alone when she made the purchase. At the same point in the day, she also picked up the accident report forms from the Massachusetts Registry of Motor Vehicles. Maura then left Amherst between 4 and 5, presumably via 91 or Interstate 91 North. She called to check her voicemail at 4:37 and last recorded use of her phone. To this date, there is no indication she had informed anyone of her destination or any evidence that she had chosen a destination. Okay. Hey, Rocco. I'm glad y'all are here. What's the thoughts so far on what could have happened to this woman? There's still more to read. I'm going to try to play. Hold your ears if you have. This case is insane. I'm telling you, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And I have. This is not even my notes that I have on the computer. I have oodles and oodles of notes, and it's not even nothing compared. And there's still so many avenues that she could have, did somebody kidnap her? Because she was a track star that ran in the snow, did she run away? She was drinking that night. They found the wine. The wine had been open and been drinking. She had put it in a bottle. Oh, there was definitely poor police work. The police failed dramatically on this one. I'm telling you, they failed dramatically. But, did she think, okay, I've run this far before? It actually was in the mid-30s, which was kind of high for that time. I'm wondering if somebody picked her up too, because Kathleen, her older sister's husband, they talk about a red truck. We'll get into that. They talk about a red truck pulling the car. Then we got a sheriff that's the chief of police that's drunk that hit something, and then he calls in one of his buddies to switch cars out and go get it fixed so he doesn't get in trouble. And then these are the cops that are on the scene. And then the state trooper says he was the first one on the scene. Maybe he couldn't see it. Then there was this guy with the bus. There is so much to get into. We might have to actually do a two-parter on this one. But Let me see if I can share this because I want to show you pictures. Okay. We're just going to go on down here too. This was her supervisor, Karen. And now I got the pictures all messed up. It's because the whole story is all messed up. This is where she would have been sitting that night whenever she was looking at everybody's ID, West Point, UMass. And this is her at the ATM withdrawing money. Now, what you don't see is that there is a man over here. He is over here, but they've cropped it down to where you can't see that. And then there was questions about these cars sitting out there. I think this was a car driving by because if you look at the parking lot, you can see that this right here is the ATM thing. These are straight, and then there's a couple spots right there, which there's a car right here. Could have been hers. I don't know. But this one, I think, is just driving by. And there's some more pictures. Okay. This was her at the liquor store. You can't tell what's going on here. I'm going to bring it down so I can see. Yeah, Rocco, there was like an indentation or blood. I hate to say it, but I can't remember. That was on the windshield, like maybe a hit and it cracked, I think. And so, with all the accidents that she had, and the fact that she had that accident, because she did have an accident, regardless of how it happened, she did have an accident. This could have been one that, put her in a different state of mind, plus the alcohol. So she could have wandered out into the woods. I am going to go ahead and give you my theory. I'm going to wait. I'm sorry. I want to wait. These are the people off the oxygen show. I trust her. Him, not so much. He pulls at his beard. I don't know if y'all can see me, but he pulls at his beard whenever he's uncomfortable. Okay. At 7:27, a neighbor is the first one to call 911. At 7:30, the neighbor stops. He's the one driving the bus. That would be Butch Atwood. At 7:40, neighbor number 2 makes the second 911 call. And at 7:46, MAURA is no longer around. My theory is that I think that there was some odd police stuff going on. Maybe they wasn't paying attention. Maybe it was because the chief of police was drunk. Maybe because Cecil was the cop that traded the cars with him. Maybe they wasn't paying attention. She took off running. And either someone picked her up, but there was no signal, so I don't know how she would have called. Apologize. I apologize for coughing, sorry. But I think that she ran, and I think that it was colder than what she was expecting, and the alcohol didn't help. And plus, like you said, the head, her hitting her head, that maybe she got too far out and she sat down or fell down or something and died. And I think that their search area needs to be expanded, and I think they would find her body. That's what I think happened. I don't think that somebody took her, which is not out of the question, because I don't know. The guy Butch, I don't know if it's because of his looks or what, but he gives me this creepy feeling like he could be like, I'm gonna put you in the back room on a fish or on a hook, you know. Um, yeah, I'm telling you, I think she's farther out than what they thought because they didn't know she was a track runner at this time. So, and this whole time that they're out there searching, they're not thinking that, hey, this girl runs track in the cold and she runs, to keep up with being able to have the agility to do that by running in the cold and snow. So I'm thinking that maybe they just didn't realize it and they needed to go farther out. And on February 9th, 2004 at 3:32 a.m., she emailed her teacher her homework. That seems kind of odd to me. I know it's nothing, just woods and woods and woods. And if you notice in the picture, let's go back to this picture. I don't know if you can tell it very well. She has on a light jacket. I mean, it looks like dark right here. And I mean, it could be, but this could blend in so easily with the environment out there. And this is the car. I'm going to blow it up here. I think there's a theory of that too, Black Widow. There's a theory of maybe that she seen something she wasn't supposed to see. Maybe FBI had something going on out there. Maybe the CIA, her sister worked for the CIA. But there was a lot of theories of why, that there was shoddy police work. I'm telling you. Then there was shoddy police work. Let me know if I need to make this bigger. But this is a picture of her car. I don't know why these pieces are hanging out now because this is also a picture of the car. And this right here, whenever the police had called for them to come tow the car, they actually skipped the next tow truck in line and went to someone else. Well, that guy showed up pissed off. And so the guy that they skipped, I guess, went home. But the guy that they did call took her car to his house. Now, his house is not a junkyard or anything like that. He just took her car to his house. That seems very odd and unprofessional. He should have took it to the junkyard or to the storage unit, whatever you call it, because usually junkyards and those kind of are together. But he took it to his house. That I don't understand that. But if you look, to me, in my opinion, this looks like because of her bumper, because they said that she hit a snowbank and then she hit a tree. This is not hitting a snowbank and hitting a tree. I mean, obviously, I can't say that for sure, but we do have some weeds sticking out here, if you notice that. If you notice the hood, it looks like it's been pushed up in here. But this, to me, reminds me of one of those bars on the front of a police car or on, those trucks, those metal bars. It kind of looks like that's what it is, and it wouldn't leave a paint, maybe like silver or something, but there is no paint. Yeah, I'm thinking she did when she spun out that she did hit a snowbank. I do believe that. But this car, I don't understand if she's going eastbound and she spins out and she ends up going westbound in the eastbound lane. I mean, because her car ended up back in the road. So that would have been a bad hit. Nobody pulled her car up there. There was reports of her sitting in the car smoking with the door open. There was reports of someone sitting in the passenger seat smoking. that there was males out there, that there was a male out there with her, and then there was something else. I'm telling you, it's insane. Let me see. This is the same picture, but a little bit farther away. Um, I'm not seeing the crack. I mean, obviously, you can't tell from this picture if there's a crack in that window, but I'm not seeing one. But that doesn't mean there's not one there at all. I want to be very clear on some of this stuff. Um, this is the parties involved. This is Butch Atwood. This was, I think, a journalist, maybe a detective. I apologize, I can't remember. That thinks that something else happened to her. This is Cecil. This is William. This is the state trooper. And I'm guessing that this is the state trooper. Yeah, I don't know. But whenever they arrived, they said that there was a police car out, or a SUV, I think, or something. And then when other people arrived, there was a different kind of police car, and that one was gone. Which, I mean, you know, that really don't mean anything. There was also like 5 or more, we'll say. There was a lot of self-aside calls that night, and Cecil had went to one. Um, I think it was William that was drunk. Um, give me a minute because I've got so many notes here. Like you said, Rocco, the damage to the car is not consistent in hitting the tree. The tree, after all these years, they're actually cutting that tree down, which is not even the tree that supposedly she hit. Let me give you some. I'm telling you, it's. Okay, James Renner, you're going to hear me probably mention him. He was a writer, a journalist, true crime addict who believed or used to believe that MAURA was alive and well and his friends are hiding her or something. There's also reports that maybe she was pregnant, that she wanted to take off because there's reports of seeing a lady that resembles her that has a child. And so there's so many things. This red truck, there was a red truck that was seen setting up. This is her boyfriend now. He actually looks like a captain that I was in the army with. And this is proof she did go to a party. And I don't know if y'all remember this guy. This guy is the one that got on the internet saying that he had done something to her and the happy anniversary thing. So that was really, really creepy. I'd seen him a bunch of times and did not know. I got a problem with this right here. This is the SUV. I cannot find not one single picture of the front of this vehicle. And I'm wondering what this right here is. Is this, I know it is. It's scary, you know. I actually want to go to New Hampshire and travel the road that she did and see what it looks like. Is this the guard boy? What do you call it? The guard thing? Oh my God. I'm trying to stay focused here. Because there was 2 brothers that lived in the A-frame house. And after one of them died, then the other one gave the cops a knife and said that's the one that he had killed MAURA with. Okay, well, there was a couple that moved in to that house and said there was some creepy things that went on in that house. Like spooky. And then they even brought in psychics. Okay, this cop here, I think that's William. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say 100%. He was like a bad cop, and somebody ended up shooting him in his yard. He lived, and then somebody shot the person that shot him. I know. I was like, I want that house. This was the boyfriend at the time. This is Williams. Enforcer. I don't know who that was. This was the drawing of the person that really looks like Cecil. Um, this is Kathleen, her older sister, and her boyfriend in the red truck. You see the red truck? Because they said that he towed her, and that's what the thing snapped, and that's what made the indention on it. That's plausible. It looks like it. This is Kathleen, her sister. I'll go ahead and give you the bad news. Later on, Kathleen dies of, I think, of ovarian cancer, just like her mother. So she's no longer alive. This is the curve. She was coming this way right here. Supposedly, she, I guess, hit the snowbank. It flipped her around, and she ended up facing this way. Whenever they brought the dogs out, the dogs stopped in here and wouldn't go no farther. They went back west. So I'm thinking she ran through these woods. I'm thinking that she probably, because they said the road was fairly used and clear, that she ran down that road and then she bolted through the woods. And a lot of pictures I have are pictures that are the same, because it's good to go back and look at these. There's that gentleman I was telling you that said he didn't believe that none of these stories. And this was them searching. See, now that's the other side of the car. The car just looks all screwed up. It's like, and I wonder, okay, seeing how, that's what I think, Rocco. I'm telling you, I don't think they took that search, how they'll do a mile and a half, 2 miles. I think they should have took it out at least 5 miles, if not more, because she would run miles on miles. In the military, we run 8 miles 3 times a week. That's not, and that's in cold weather too. And in shorts. But we would run down to the Burger King at the thing and then run back. And of course, my fat ass is like, if I'm running to Burger King, I gotta get a sandwich, but that never happened. But anyway, we would run 8 miles 3 times a week. It was not an issue. And so I see somebody that does that a lot, being able to, to run pretty far. According to how deep was the snow in the woods, did she run far enough to get away and then start walking? I know I can't figure out why that hood looks like it's pushed up in the front. Right here, to me, it looks like it got pushed up slightly, like not nothing dramatic or, like not something like a bad car crash, but it looks like something hit it hard enough to push it up. Because if you see, they're both that, and it's upward. This would have made it different. It wouldn't have been so bad over here. So something's going on that I don't know. And then, of course, then you got to wonder, okay, the guy took this to his house. So did he do more damage to it? I don't think he done damage to the front, but there's just something was damage already there on the sides because it looks kind of wonky there on this side over here. So I don't know. I know. Again, there's the picture of her. Like I said, there is a man right in here. If they had it put out, you could see the man. And then we've got some timelines, we've got phone records. Nothing that we've not went over yet. And I think I don't know what this is, honestly. It could have been her at West Point, a picture of her at West Point. But I don't know. This is Kathleen, her sister. This is her obituary. This is Julie, her sister. That car, I would have loved to have seen that car before anything, like it was towed or anything like that. That would have made me a lot happier. Oh, and the red truck. There's so many things. The woman was walking her dog. She got down the Bradley Road, and the dog got spooked, so she turned around and went home. And I know there's pictures on there. And there's another one I wanted to show you. But so she turned around and went home. There was 3 homes. I've got them on here if they would just show up. But there was 3 homes right around this accident site that could be seen. Okay, Faith Westman and her husband call. What if that was the second call and merged call from the county, like transferred, like they had called and they merged the call with the county call? You know how they'll hold on, you can talk to this person or whatever sometimes. That was one of the people that called. Cecil was not the first cop on the scene. That's the one where the drawing resembles him. So this is some of the devils in the details thing. I need to go back and make it a little bit more competent as far as in order. Oh, there was on the psychic end. There was the CIA has a psychic program which has been going on for over 20 years under 10 code names. There's 26,000 psychics. The top 15, and I'm going to mess up a bunch of these names, is Mel Cropsey, Tops Auras, Patricia List, Penny Sarah, John D. Mars, Susan Jacobs, Teresita Fozzie, Melanie Murrah, The Lake Waco Murders, Jacqueline Poole, Arthur Herbert, Carla Brown, Hay Wells and Jessica Chapman, Mara Scott, and Sylvester Tone. I would have died if that was said Stallone. I know I am the type when I get invested in these that I want to figure it out. I want to solve it. I want to find people one way or another, Okay, now I'm going to go to Unsolved No More. I suggest you go Check him out. This guy is amazing. He has done everything. He even done a thing on hunting the zodiac on I think it's Hulu. You can watch it. Um, he looks at victimology. That's the first thing you need to look at whenever you're looking at a crime is the victimology. She was a UMass Amherst student, 2'8". Um, when things started going out of whack, 2'7", Dad had came to meet her at the university. Her car was not running. Went looking for a new car. 4,000. They had $4,000 at 9 o'clock. Um, she asked her dad could he borrow the car on the way back. An accident 333. That's a very odd number. On 2'8", and the car was towed. She was taken by the police to the hotel where Dad was staying. Now, again, these are just the facts, so we're going to go over stuff that we went over before. One thing, there has been reports of her being depressed. And so, let me stop this because it's useless. Okay. There's been reports of her being depressed. Now that says a lot. You know, her mother had passed away. There was just a lot of things, you know, problems with the boyfriend apparently. I don't know if she hit the guy at West Point or not. I don't know. There's stuff saying she didn't, but we'll never know. Maybe that's the reason that she got put out. Who knows? Anyway, she was depressed about wrecking her dad's car. She's obviously upset about her sister. She didn't get a ticket. There was no breathalyzer. She had been drinking earlier. Was she intoxicated at the time of the wreck, you know, or was she sober by then? Fred goes back home. Maura goes to dorm 2-9. Going to be in a snowstorm, so there will not be no school. Classes would likely be canceled. She is researching places to rent in Vermont. MapQuest to the condo. Made calls to rent condos. She packed up her car. Not with everything, though. She was an athlete in college, athlete in high school, and she knew how to run. So she lied about leaving dorm. Emailed professor about the death. She emailed her boyfriend. The ATM, the $280. The liquor store. She got a lot of alcohol. Again, she was depressed. And a couple of phone calls were made to her boyfriend en route, but there was no answer. 7:27, driving for 3 hours at this point. She had been driving for 3 hours. She wrecks car hits snowbank, tree spins around. And so I have some more on Word document. But honestly, it's been an hour of talking about this, and I am just exhausted. I'm going to definitely get everything together and make it more presentable so that we can just go down the facts for the second part. And that's all we're going to do is straight just do facts and see what we can come up with. If y'all are interested in this, please leave comments that, feedback, rebuttal, complaints, concerns, whatever you want to leave. And then we will do another episode coming up here. At least give me about a week and a half. And we'll do nothing but the facts and see what we can come up with. And I'll even get a map of the area farther out than, say, 2 miles. And we'll see what we got there. Thank you, Rocco. And thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. And so if you want to study up on it, maybe y'all can find some stuff that I didn't find. That would be awesome. Awesome. I'm telling you. But I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. I appreciate it. And Rocco, I appreciate you being here. Thank you all for being here. You don't know, I mean, I'm being sincere. Thank you. It means a lot that y'all showed up and supported me. And I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you soon. And I will see you in about a week or a week and a half. You too. Have a great night, Black Widow Channel. But I'm telling you right now, it means a lot. And I will see you soon on this. And we will figure this out. We're going to figure this out, I promise. I will see you later. Bear.